Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to High Tech 10. 6 out of control temporary files and cache. Sometimes you may notice that your Mac gains a few gigabytes of storage space after a reboot. This is due to temporary files created by macOS and third-party apps, which are routinely cleared out and deleted on startup. The simplest solution here is to restart your Mac more often. If that's not enough, you can manually clear out macOS caches to create more free space than simply letting the machine handle the process on its own. If you'd rather not get your hands dirty, use a dedicated app like Clean My Mac X to clean caches and perform other tasks to keep your Mac in top shape. 5. Accumulating too much desktop clutter. Did you know each icon on the desktop is a small window and macOS needs to render it separately? Considering this is the default dumping ground for screenshots, a cluttered desktop can really tax your Mac. Tidying it up, however, will help reduce your background workload and free up resources for use elsewhere. The best way to clean up the desktop is by moving files elsewhere and changing the default save path for screenshots from the Options menu in the Screenshot tool. And don't forget about Stacks, a feature that automatically organizes desktop files into folder-like groups. Clicking New Stacks in the Finder's View menu instantly brings order to an overpopulated desktop. Then Control-click on the desktop and select Group Stacks to choose sorting criteria such as kind, date added, date last opened, and so on. 4. Running too many background processes. Your computer has a limited amount of system resources at its disposal. It's easy to tie up the available RAM and processing power with too many background tasks. To see what's running at any moment, use the Activity Monitor app in Applications Utilities. This is especially handy when you're unsure why your Mac has slowed to a crawl. Click the CPU or Memory tab and sort by the first column to see which app consumes the most resources. Find a process and kill it by clicking the X button in the toolbar. You can try a whole array of fixes if you see kernel_task consuming a ton of CPU power. All too often, these processes launch when your Mac starts up, so your first stop should be System Preferences, Users, Login Items. Click an app and hit the minus symbol to remove it from the list. The selected app will no longer open when you turn on your computer. Browser extensions and web apps can also drain your available resources. It's a good idea to audit your browsers for extensions that aren't pulling their weight. You can also try disabling extensions before ditching them completely to see if they're an issue. Keeping a close eye on the running process has another benefit. It can also help you identify serial offenders, in which case you may need to force quit misbehaving apps. Number 3. Using thirsty apps instead of alternatives. Your choice of an app can significantly impact the overall performance of your Mac. This is especially visible in your choice of a web browser. Safari is better optimized than Chrome for macOS, and it will give you more battery life as well. That rule goes for pretty much all of Apple's native apps. Pages runs way better than Word, Notes is much lighter than Evernote, and apps like iMovie and GarageBand run smoothly even on older machines. This also applies to big guns such as Final Cut Pro, which provides a considerably smoother experience than Adobe's Premiere Pro. Where possible, choose lighter third-party apps. Most apps written exclusively for macOS will run considerably better than their cross-platform counterparts. For example, Pixelmator is less powerful than Photoshop, but it's also less taxing. 2. Skipping macOS updates. Your Mac downloads updates in the background so that when you're ready, you can hit Update Now and instantly proceed with the update process rather than waiting for the files to download. Updating macOS may even increase available free space since the installation files are cleared at the end of the process. Major macOS versions released annually typically increase performance, but this isn't a golden rule. Updates following each major new macOS release are always worth your time since they fix problems that can cause poor performance and security issues. Number 1. Not waiting until your Mac is optimized. There are some perfectly normal times for your machine to run slowly. For starters, immediately after a macOS update, Spotlight may index systems files that may prevent your Mac from performing optimally. You'll see a notification on your desktop indicating that macOS is optimizing your Mac. Spotlight indexing can also occur after installing a new app or when you connect external storage for the first time. And lastly, under heavy workloads like encoding video or batch converting RAW files, don't expect your Mac to operate at its top speed. Patience is the key in such cases. At any rate, avoiding the mistakes described in this article is the best way to speed up your Mac instead of deleting everything and performing a fresh installation of macOS. But if after trying our tips, your system still isn't working at a speed that you find acceptable, there's probably a brand new Mac out there somewhere with your name written on it. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.